Still have a minute before you can actually
All
start.
right.
Good to go.
All right, let's call this meeting to order. Everybody is here. I need to actually do a roll call. Everybody's here. All right. Public comment? No public comment. I get a motion to approve the minutes of May 15th, 2024.
Move to approve the minutes of May 15th as presented.
I'll second that.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Approve the minutes. Next on the agenda is to talk about the Milky Way Park concept plan.
So this is the latest adaptation with after our public hearing, you'll see that the connection to MCC Trail has been extended out. There's just been some very minor tweaks to it based on the conversations. If you flip to page 2 though, this is, we're applying for $600,000. Which is the max, and this, based on the engineer's suggestion, engineer/grant writer, is what he thinks we should apply for in this first one, to capitalize on the points as well as leave some points for future applications. And I believe there is a projected total cost. Now, this is based on current prices. 2 years from now, some of this might go up. But based on the page before, 2024 Oslide project, estimated cost, you can see that to the right. Now, one of the questions that came up at the last, at the public hearing was, let's assume that the city gets a 90-10 split on the 600,000. Which would mean the city would have to come up with $60,000. I was thinking about this, and then we could actually take $20,000 of the NISRA money for ADA improvements and apply it towards this, as well as I talked to the Parks Foundation about potentially throwing some money.
I thought one of the goals, obviously the goal is to get the whole thing done, but I thought we wanted to get going on one of these soccer fields right away. So that doesn't, this plan doesn't help that.
Yeah, this is what he sent on Friday, which I sent out on Sunday night. I can go back to him about size, or at least one of them.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that should be part of it. Maybe, I'm not wild about the skate park, but that's just me. But maybe we can cut that.
Well, the pickleball courts are estimated at $160K, a level 3 soccer field's $158. Maybe that's something to consider.
Don't we have
You do have pickleball. At least it's striped for pickleball, yes.
But doesn't pickleball get us an older age point,
It does.
right?
And that's why he made these suggestions. And if you'll note, some of the gravel parking lot is also estimated to be taken.
So why are the amounts in the Oslad project, each of the items listed less than they are?
Because you're not doing if you notice, like the trail connection, it's 55,000 in the left. On the right-hand side, it's 45. That's because you're going from Lawrence all the way down and across, but stopping right around the soccer fields, and not continuing all the way across on the first phase.
Oh, okay, so the one
Just
goes all
work
the way to the neighborhood.
Right, so that'll explain some of the price differences. In fact, he was saying that if we go that route of using at least 20,000 from NISRA, I say NISBA funds, from the ADA funds. And state in there that of the 150,000 there, we're only asking for 130, because the city's gonna contribute 20, or something like that. It actually gains us points, because it shows we're trying to stretch this out as much as possible, and get as much.
So why is the 170 for the
All right, where are you seeing the playground? 175 versus
Line
150?
5 versus line 2.
Yeah. I'll find out and send that around.
And pickleball courts, two of them, which is half, is 160, and then over here it's 344, 125. So, I mean, that's,
right? And the walking, running loop is
Yeah, and so I can ask them to
4,500
take a look
less,
again at
everything's
the
less. Skate
projected
park
cost of the
less.
Oslide project. Or at least give us better detail as to why.
Parking is also off a little bit.
yeah.
Basketball, skate parks, no shelter.
Might be two on the left, maybe he's got some escalated costs on there for,
Could be, and I'll
Construction.
get that definition, or that explanation. I'll
might have
send
done
it around.
that.
So do we have any information from them from the points standpoint? Of what's helping us? Right.
I don't have that before me, so I can ask.
I'm sorry, Lou, I had asked you about the shelters, and you said they run 65K each. They were 24 by 24. I believe in this first phase, we should build a shelter on this south side. There is no shelter other than what's underneath the concession stand, which is like a, 15 by 15 or 10 by 10.
Tiny area.
Yeah, I kind of think one over by the pickleball courts, maybe where that workout area is. You know, and then the other, I was telling Lisa earlier today, I mean, obviously this is way more than the $1.2 million we were talking about to begin with. This is $2.4 million. I mean, so is there a reason why we would need 4 pickleball courts? If we put in 2, doesn't that satisfy that age group? We don't have to do 4. You know, I don't know if there's demand for 4 pickleball courts in this community. I know pickleball, don't get me wrong, I know my brother plays in Naperville. I mean, it's huge, but I'm just wondering if it's the demand of it here. If we put in 2 nice pickleball courts here, I mean, I think that would satisfy, you know, our community. And you also have it at Northfield too.
And this first phase may answer that because it's only putting 2 in.
Right, right.
And if we put 2 in and they're hardly used, then as we continue, we drop the other 2.
Yeah,
Or change them to tennis courts or something.
That option.
Yeah.
Well, and we had talked about, instead of the skate park, having some sort of exercise stations in that area, right?
Oh, that was one of the other options.
And I'm just curious how things like that, what the trade-offs are with the scoring. Because that, I mean, what's the usage on the pickleball courts at Northfield? Do we know?
Unfortunately, no. I don't think we've really collected data in the past.
From my estimation, they're used quite often.
Yeah, they're used quite a bit.
Just from driving by them all the time.
Do you use them quite a bit?
No, when I go through there, they're always getting used.
Yeah, they're
well, in the mornings typically.
in the mornings, you'll see
Oh, good.
seniors, a bunch of them out
Well, that's good.
there. There is in that area, there is an exercise station out there. Does this plan call to remove that exercise station?
Where is the current exercise station?
So if you were to look at the OSLAD 2024, it's a brown
rectangle?
Well, it's more of a square.
Kind of near the pickleball courts?
No,
No?
that rectangle is a playground. If you go across the trail, the walking loop,
Oh,
In
that
that-
square?
that square is
Oh.
Well, and
a
that could be why
workout
you put
station.
a skate park versus an exercise area.
Because it's a permanent
Oh,
exercise
okay.
area that you can do
And that-
all kinds of different.
And that's retained even on the final plan.
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah.
Okay.
How's that, I mean, if we put in a brand new playground, how's that one playground look? Is it in good shape? Or is it pretty old, pretty beat up?
When I went out and looked at it, there was snow on the ground when I went to look at it. It needs, some attention, but
Yeah.
it's still in pretty good shape. Yeah, there's, I don't know that it needs to be replaced. I would suggest, adding to it. So if you're going to make this new playground area playground, maybe you move that equipment to be in there and then add more equipment to it. Because I think the current slide and all that's in there is in pretty good shape.
So maybe just expanding the playground area to where the two proposed pickleball courts are?
Maybe would be the answer. Although, the parking lot is proposed to go right over top of the current playground.
They could be just moving it over. It's at all possible.
Oh, so that's that angled rectangle is
Move the
the
pickleball
existing
courts into
playground?
the new playground
Okay,
and move the playground
Yeah.
into where the pickleball
Yeah.
courts are.
Yeah.
The existing playground.
right.
Or expand it, or
Or
put a
expand it,
shelter
yeah.
there. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you really should have a shelter. If you have a playground there, there should be a shelter.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
So I'll take these notes back to the engineer. Hopefully, a week or so, we'll have an updated version with new numbers.
Remind me again, when's the date this has to go in?
Has to be in by the end of July. So
Lewis?
we still have to have another public hearing, which I'm estimating will be at the next Parks and Rec Committee.
Okay.
And then it would have to go to the council before it would go be submitted.
Okay, that's pretty tight.
Yeah, unless that's,
We
wait,
knew
no,
it was gonna be tight from the get-go. That's why I jumped out.
okay.
and did
is
what I
that
did.
little-
So then I think, like we said, like Lisa said, to get the point system so we understand.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
gets us the max amount of points here and we can kind of play with it that way.
And remember, we were trying to leave some points behind for the next application.
Sure, I get it.
Well, can we, I mean, is there a way then with reconfiguring things and whatnot to add in one of the adult soccer fields?
Yeah, and I've got that note here.
Okay, because I think that would be very responsive to what we heard from the community.
Lou, where's the restrooms gonna be? I see the new restroom. Where else is there gonna be restrooms?
So, okay, sorry, there's going to be a new restroom right about here.
Okay,
And then we still have the current one, and we
Uh-huh.
still have the concession. So essentially, it's like trying to cut that up in thirds.
okay.
So where are the new restrooms in the budget?
Oh, are they not listed in here?
No.
Okay.
There's really no infrastructure in the budget either. It's that something, that just
We're gonna have to run electric, right? And we talked about that, right?
electric,
Right.
water, sewage.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask them about those.
I would personally like to see, like, if we're gonna put a new bathroom, a little bit more center towards, I don't know, that's a hall. I've had to use the restroom there before.
Well, you've got one in the center there currently.
Where's it at?
Right
By-
there.
Yeah, but it's on that side of the park though, right? I know. It's just, that's my own thought, I guess.
So what you're saying is you'd rather see one like right about here?
Or in center of the field, right? Center of the park kind
Yeah.
of area, right? Like by the baseball fields or the new parking lot area there, somewhere in that area where it's more, it just seems like it's a haul.
I think the problem is
You
infrastructure.
gotta run
run
infrastructure, water
Yeah,
and
yeah,
sewer.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Whereas if it's in a straight line where it currently is, because the water and sewer run
Yeah.
from there down, so it's not, you don't have to,
Less cost, yeah.
yeah, it's much less cost.
Yeah, I agree with you, Pat. That'd be great, but I
Yeah, it'd be nice if there was one, a bathroom like in the middle
Middle
of
center,
it.
yeah. No, we can't have it all.
It's only money.
Yeah.
We can add one later.
Yeah, no. I mean, the three are good. Don't get me wrong. Just, yeah.
That's one more than it currently has.
Yes.
All right, we got any more discussion on this?
Do we,
Yes, we do.
I get, yeah, just real quick, and I just want to answer this question, and this kind of plays in the transportation area, and I apologize, but motor fuel tax money, can that be used on this parking lot? Or can it only be used for road?
I don't believe it can be used on this project.
Okay,
I wouldn't even suggest it anyway,
okay.
because we've got street and everything else that needs to be taken care of.
I would want to hear an engineer tell me the viability of putting in a third of this parking lot and what that would actually mean. You know what I'm saying? If it's better to, because, based upon this suggestion is we're doing like a third of that one side of the parking lot. Is there issues with that, or is it better if we do it all at once? I guess that's my big question. And
We piecemeal our roads all the time.
yeah, I know. But I mean, the problem is the other side of that parking lot's a disaster. It was built on with no foundation, and it's a disaster.
Well, I'm pretty sure the engineer will tell you it's better to do the whole thing,
Right. Yeah.
but money.
Well, I'm saying is would it be better though to,
Well, hypothetically, if most of your funds out of the 600,000 are going towards the parking, you're probably going to get rejected.
yeah, no, I get it. Oh, no. Yeah.
And if you notice, in the original, or the first page, he's projecting to go all the way across with, new parking. Just that bottom third. When we flip to go to do the north side, down the road, we can, potentially get the rest of the parking. Now, one of the things, in the same topic, one of the things we did for Milky Way,
Yeah.
or you know what, I'm going to save it for, it's not in this topic, sorry.
That's okay. Thank you. I just wanted to ask that question.
Well, the other problem you're going to have, or we're going to have along that lines, is we're going to do this much of the parking lot, and 5 years later, we're going to do another, and then we're going to do another, and by the time we get to the end, we're going to want to do the other one again. I mean,
That's the
it
nature of
goes
the
that way.
beast.
Yep.
Well, I would more be inclined to shape it, put down some good base, just get it prepped and put the money aside until we can do it all. And you can do quite a bit if you can do quite a bit with the drainage out there if you just shape it and put some good stone base in there than what's there now.
Yeah,
So-
one of the big issues is there's a French drain that runs down the center of it that's collapsed, so it isn't functioning. So when you have a large rain, there's a lake out
Oh, yeah.
there. It's mostly on the concrete portion of the parking lot, which you can see is a lighter color.
What does that French drain run the whole
I don't know.
distance?
I don't know what distance it is. Honestly. I just know it's collapsed in that.
Not really running anywhere. All right, so I will take these suggestions and questions back to the engineer, and I'll try to send out a follow-up email to the committee.
Thank you. Let's move on to Discussion or action to add a new adult swim lap season pass.
Yes, so, we're seeing a lot more, swimmers up there, this year, and I'll get to that in what was supposed to be my report. Anyway, so one of the problems we're having is we have some, people that just want to do lap swim only. So they're coming in for that first hour, from 12 to 1, and then they're going home. Well, we were talking to some of them. Was that you or? Okay. We were talking to some of them, and they kind of indicated, you know, they would like to swim more often, but they're right now paying the daily rate when they come in. So they're only swimming maybe once or twice a week and paying the daily. And what we were thinking is to try to encourage more lap swimmers out there. And I talked to Jason about it, and he thinks it's a good idea. Is just charge like say $25 or $30 for an adult lap swim only season pass. And I think we can encourage more people to come in and do the lap swim.
Is there gonna be hours based on that, like
It's from 12 to 1.
just 12 to 1?
12 to 1.
But if you get a regular season pass, you automatically
Right.
could do it.
Right. But these people are the ones I'm trying to focus on is the ones that are not willing to pay for a season pass.
Is the pool open 12 to 1?
What's that?
Yes. So the
Yes.
pool is open anyway?
It is open 12 to 1 for
But they will-
season pass only.
Oh, okay,
How will
And
you
then
be,
1 to 7 for
for
everybody
dailies.
else.
Okay.
how will you be able to differentiate once they come in? I mean, is it just like everybody gets cleared out right after? Because I've never gone to
You know,
these.
If you have a season pass, you can
Yeah.
be there.
I think
Well,
that-
the question, her question is, they buy a season pass for just lap swim?
Yeah.
How do you know they don't stick around and continue to swim and they've only paid to do it?
Right.
That's your question? Is
Right,
there-
because it's already at a reduced amount.
Right.
that is a very good question. I do not have the answer for how Jason does that.
And how much is a daily pass?
Dave-
Not for the lap swim.
$8.
$8. So this would be a discounted.
Well, I think it's,
Oh, that's what we're proposing is $5 for
Okay.
adult, daily pass for adult swim.
for adult swim.
You could do something with like a punch card or something,
Yeah.
you know, where like for, you know, $30, it's 10.
Well, and
And
so
then they don't have a pass, you know, they have it's still a daily thing, but they get a discount for buying.
I think the idea of having a
Quantity.
lap swim at a lower cost than a regular daily pass or the regular season pass is a great idea.
and again, it's to encourage people to come out more.
Yeah.
And they're only in for the pool for an hour. So they're doing minimal impact.
And we have how many lanes for a lap swim? Just one?
well, I think there's more than one painted, but I
Another
might be able
very
to
good
see,
question.
you might be able to see from.
Remember, I'm an
There
intern.
are like 4? I thought there was like 4.
There might be 4.
Let's take a look. I think you can
It's
see.
where they
from
You
teach
seem
the
very
swimming, right?
convincing, so I'm
I don't know, I think there's 4. Not sure though.
Sorry, I have to.
But again, this is an area
Hi,
that,
Scott.
That was a good trip. So to speak.
I don't think I don't really have a problem with this, right? We're just gonna kind of go on honor and see what happens.
There you go. 1, 2, 3,
It would
4,
work.
5.
We don't have lane markers though, other than what's painted on the
On the
bottom of the pool.
bottom.
We don't have ropes, basically.
No, there are no ropes.
But during this 12 to 1 time, if you have a season pass, you can go be in the pool also.
Correct.
They don't.
Yeah,
and they monitor
they could-
that.
They
don't
could
knock
be
into each
down
other?
here, and they could also do the slide. They just couldn't in this area.
But, and I'm not exactly sure how they do it, but they're actually monitoring it now.
Okay.
With just the 1 or 2 lap swimmers with the season pass swimmers.
One with
I mean,
the
it
pool
makes sense to
open.
me to, you know, just $30 or something. Everybody will want to do that if
It's
they just
not
want to
Right,
do that
it's
because
it's
it's
to
just
encourage
worth,
more people to come out and use the pool.
Oh, there's,
like going there for a week, you can actually go there for like the whole time. So. Makes sense.
And I think they have,
That the year
every
is
hour
closed.
they have 15 minutes out of the pool, so
Just
they'll open at 12 and at 1 o'clock,
They'll
they'll
shut it
shut down
down,
for
yep.
15 minutes. So that's when the lap swimmers have to get out, so.
I think it's gonna encourage people to go. I mean,
Hey, we want people to use the pool. And then, like I said, this is a market, so to speak, that we have not been tapping successfully.
Vote on this?
you recommend city council if you want.
Have a motion?
I'll make the
Wait,
motion
wait,
to
wait,
send it
where?
to city council. I guess with a on your honor kind of thing after the end part.
Okay with the $30?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay.
I second the motion.
I got a motion by Lancaster and a second by Luna. Wow, look at that.
Call vote?
Roll call vote, all right.
Haderlein?
Yes.
Lavallee?
Yes.
Lancaster?
Yes.
Saucedo?
Yes.
And Luna?
Yes.
All ayes.
Motion carries. Send that to the city council. All right, next up, we got the mayor's report.
I just want to report that Stacy is on board, our new Parks and Recreation Superintendent, although she's on vacation.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, where is she?
She had a planned vacation before she joined
I want to ask a
our
question.
organization.
Yeah, I know.
Want to
Little
know the answer.
awkward,
Yeah.
yeah.
She had a family plan already.
So she is taking a vacation. It's no compensation because she doesn't have any vacation time yet. But she had that plan before she came here, and we were willing to allow that to continue to allow her to do that. So she has already started at least one program and has a big list of things that she's working on. So I'm excited to see what we'll see over the next couple of months.
She put together the lap swim, or is that the intern?
That was her.
Ah, there we go.
My idea, her work.
And that's really all I have to report. I think I think you can give an update about the pool operation. The pool did open on time. We did have to shut down one day because of a pump issue. One of the things I will tell you I have asked for 8 years is a PID drawing of our pool system. So PID, basically a diagram that shows where everything is related to everything else. We really need it from a mechanical and from an electrical perspective. I was talking to the electricians about the pumps over time, and pumps go down. That's a nature of this type of environment because it's a harsh environment, and eventually kills the bearings and pumps go bad. I mean that just happens. And in a commercial application, you're moving a lot of water, so there's more than you would say in your backyard pool. At the same time, one of the things we were talking about is, when a pump would go down, maybe there wasn't that exact pump available on the market when we needed to replace it, and we replaced it with a similar pump. But maybe the electrical specifications were slightly more current draw, slightly less current draw, whatever. And that over time, as these pumps have been replaced, maybe we're way off of what it was originally designed for, and so that's also accelerating the pumps failing from an electrical perspective, not from a mechanical perspective. So we are systematically going to go through the system and understand it from a mechanical operation and electrical operation. We have found drawings, last I had heard, we'd found drawings from the proposed draft of the pool, and by the way, the pool was opened in 2001, learned from this, but we haven't found as-built drawings yet, and so we're trying to get those or go back to the original manufacturer of the pump to see maybe if they could help us with that. In the meantime, we reached out to McHenry, is that right? Yeah. So we asked McHenry, one of their pool people, to come over and kind of walk through the system with us just to make sure from their perspective, to help us figure out, what's happening there. Additionally, on the chlorine system, we had a lot of cooks in the kitchen, and I think that was a contributing factor as well. So we're trying to limit the number of people who have access to the mechanical room, because you get one guy in there turning the knob here, and the next guy comes and turns the knob here, and all of a sudden something's not going right. So it's really trying to streamline maintenance of the pool under very strict kind of conditions of who can go in there, And then also, again, create these plans or the drawings so we understand when something does go down, exactly what we need to do and what we need to replace it with. So that's an initiative that we're working on, and I'm hopeful we'll have that completed in the next month or so. And it should help us better manage.
Lou brought something up the last meeting, and I wanted to get clarification on it. Is Stacy not running the pool? Is Stacy involved in the pool at all?
Stacy is the superintendent overall of parks, so from that perspective, the pool operation does report to her, but she is not doing the daily maintenance of the pool.
Okay. So who does that then? Is that Daryl? Is it?
It's not Daryl.
Yeah, go ahead.
To answer your question, so last year what we were having is we had the superintendent, we had the pool, and then the pool manager, and then we also had Emmanuel. 3 people up there. We didn't need 3 people up there. Jason is very capable and been running the pool for years. So what we did is we streamlined the system. Stacy does the ordering, checks in, pops in from, right now I think she's popped in like 3 or 4 times to check in on things. And then Jason reports directly to Stacy as far as what's going on. Emmanuel reports to Jason, and then CC Stacy as well. So Emmanuel focuses more on the day-to-day maintenance, and that helps to flow. Plus, we also have one of the lifeguards that in the past was doing the scheduling for all the lifeguards, so we just made it official. So that person now has been doing all the scheduling. Maya has been doing a heck of a job already. So we just
No, that's okay.
streamline the system.
From a
And-
budget perspective, though, do we need to change the budget such that, because half of Stacy's salary goes to the pool, correct? But her involvement is minimal at this point, right? I'm just saying, she
Right now,
doesn't,
keep in mind too, she's also new.
right,
So the
Right.
idea is over time, she's going to be developing more programs to go there as well.
okay.
And we can maybe even cut Daryl back as far as on the pool and have him focus more on the day-to-day maintenance of the parks.
So what does Daryl do at the pool?
Well, Daryl has in the past and currently, because he used to be the Parks and Rec superintendent years ago and used to manage the pool.
No, he never was.
All right, I'm getting some conflicting stories. This
That's
is why
okay.
we need just one person. So, but Daryl is familiar with the pumps and all that, and initially was helping out up there. And we've phased him out of that.
So now Jason and Emmanuel.
Right. And Jason and Stacy later this year are going to be doing the certified public pool operator certification class, so that they know when they walk into the pool, they know what standards we're supposed to have. They're become far more familiar with the system, as well as the mayor mentioned, I'm working on getting someone to come in and walk us through the system as well, because we've kind of jerry-rigged a lot of it. And you can bypass up to a certain point, but then you haven't fixed the main problem, and now you weakened it on another side. So we need to stop doing that and do it right. Mentioning about the pumps, if you go up there now, the pump itself has like about a 4 to 6 inch entrance point, and it's going into an 8-inch pipe. So it's creating that little barrier there that's burning up the pumps. It's also causing a shaking throughout that's starting to break the seams. We can't do that. We need to have the right sizes. This way it runs like it's supposed to. I mentioned this to the mayor before. I've seen enough pumps go down here. I've had a public pool system for 8 years, and this is the most I've ever seen a pump fail. You're talking $3 to $4 grand every time, not including labor. And plus you shut down the pool.
Do you have someone at the pool who is a certified pool manager? Because that was Ryan. And so.
He was a certified lifeguard instructor, but
certified food manager. Henry County Department of Health is.
passed our certification.
So we have a food manager?
Right now, I believe her name's Bridget. Could be wrong.
Okay, so an employee of the pool?
Yeah.
Okay,
And Bridget? Yeah. Anyway, she's supposed to also help us as far as keeping inventory, like what flavors are we selling the most of. And I'm kind of leaning into the Parks and Rec Department report.
Okay, sorry.
So a couple of nice things is the atmosphere seems to be a lot more loose up there. The kids are enjoying the new price points, and it's reflecting so far up there. As the mayor pointed out, we only had one day so far that we've closed, and that was because of a pump fail. But keep in mind, we did not change the season pass or the daily pass rates from last year to this year. And just some numbers for you, and we're missing 3 days worth of numbers currently. Jason had them, and he was off today. Anyway, that being said, season passes, we have sold $8,708 worth. Last year, $7,495. This year, in daily passes, $4,646. Last year, $3,467. So we are up. And again, prices didn't change, so that's not a factor. And concessions. Last year we spent $5,032, and at this point we only made $2,564. This year we spent $1,354.02, and we've made $2,174. We've streamlined the system to make it make sense. And we're still missing 3 days out of that, 2 of those being hot days. We are getting down to basics to make the pool as efficient as possible, or at least if it's going to bleed, not bleed as much as it has in the past. And it's starting to reflect. In fact, the lifeguards, when I go up there, they've been suggesting different things, and we've tried it out. We bought, like, say, a case of it, see if it works. In fact, I got a season pass holder who called me today, wanted to know why aren't we offering any healthy options. So we're going to try to figure out a good price point, something that's not too, well, that we're not just losing our shirts on, but that we can offer, like, say, the carrots and peanut butter, those little packages, something like that. Pizzas, we cannot. I bought whole cases of pizza, and we cannot hold on to them. They are selling out like crazy. We're buying them for about $3 a pizza and selling them for $10. And I just dropped off 24 pizzas on Friday, and they are out as of this morning.
Where do you guys get them from, with the pizza?
Sam's Club. And to add a little fun to that, applied for a Sam's Club credit card as part of our new membership. Membership was only $15. We get 2% back. We're getting there.
I have nothing more for the mayor's report.
I'm sorry, I jumped all over that.
I thought we were already on the Parks and Rec.
So to finish up then, we are looking for the blueprints so that we have a definite copy of the way everything was built and was supposed to go. Let's see. Going back to Milk Days, parking, the one thing that we did different, in the years past, what we've been doing is just throwing gravel down in the gravel parking lot area. The problem is those potholes are so solid that as soon as you start to drive over them, you're just kicking the rocks right back out. So what we did is I talked to Mike Bamwolf, and we split the cost because he was going to pay for the gravel anyway. Had Power come out and blade it. Just go about 3 inches deep, cut it all the way across, and then throw gravel on top. If you drive out there, it's still a little bumpy, but not near as bumpy as it has been in the past. So that's where I was referring to, is trying to get a little bit more life out of it. We don't keep throwing gravel just to lose it out in the field. And I apologize for not having the Parks and Rec report or the fact that the OSLAD information went out late. I had a family emergency on Friday morning that I had to go. And it wasn't just to have a 3-day week. But no, I had to go, and unfortunately, that took up most of my day. But as soon as I could, I tried to get it out.
Is that it?
Just recapping one other thing about the mayors. I've talked to Jim Grant, and one of his water or wastewater guys has said that they would be interested in learning our pumps and that out there. So we have an on-staff, one-stop shop moving forward. And the overall theme right now with both our patrons out there and our lifeguards is this year, it's a learning year. let's figure out what we're doing wrong, what we're doing right, and gear up for next year. And so far it seems to be working. They're jumping around. I think we've only had one lifeguard quit, but that person had a financial issue as well anyway, as far as getting certified. So, yeah, we're only down one. In fact, I've got more lifeguards applying, or more people applying, because words got out. It's fun to be up
Are we offering the swimming lessons this year?
there. It is on a case-by-case basis. What we were doing in the past is we'd open up at, say, 11 or 10 o'clock to have the swim. In talking with Jason, it didn't make much sense because then we have lifeguards and that sitting around if people show up. So what we're doing is that 12 to 1 for the pool passes. That's a good time to come out and do the swim if they want. I mean, do the swim lessons.
Who teaches?
Right now, we have some lifeguards that are certified to do that.
Great.
We had 8 lifeguards return, 9 lifeguards return, and 11 newbies.
Do you know if they're gonna be doing any of that CPR certification training stuff like they did last year,
As far as up there at the pool,
or? Mm-hmm.
no, because we don't have someone who's certified, but Jason has talked about getting his lifeguard instructor to be able to do that.
So we don't have anybody that's CPR certified up there now?
Oh, no, to get their lifeguard certificate, they have to be CPR,
CPR.
first aid, and
Nobody
AED
to
certified.
train.
So that we do have people, just not instructors. And that's something that Jason and I have talked about him doing for next year. Plus, in working with McHenry and Nicole out there, she had a blast with our kids, and she's open to do it again next year. At least so far. All right, I'll stop rambling. Oh, and this will be my last interim, hopefully.
Last time.
Yeah.
Lions Park walking path, we're still waiting for the money
Yes.
for that. Do we have the diagram of what we had planned anywhere? I haven't seen that in quite a while. I know we have put something together.
Yeah, I want to say yes.
Yeah.
I believe I have it on my desk, but if you see my desk, it might be.
No, I get it though. I'm sorry something happened.
Oh.
You're okay.
Same thing too, and I'm glad, thank you, Jay, brought up something, the community garden is still moving forward. I still have, members of the Realtors Association that are volunteering, but we decided, and I don't know if I mentioned it last time. We have a, Eagle Scout that wants to do it, since we already have all the funding, the plans and everything laid out. And with the Realtors volunteering, he can get his supervisory experience as well. And I mentioned that to the Realtors that have volunteered, and they're all for it if they can help out somebody like that. So all we're waiting now is for the Eagle Scout Council to approve this project. And then he knows I want to have this done by middle to end of July.
That sounds good.
So what is the Lions Park path project?
So it's to connect over, if I recall right, from the library over to the existing bike path, walk path that's out there.
No, it was to go to the senior center
Oh,
senior
and then
center.
loop on the north side of the park and loop back down to the path by the entrance. And then we didn't budget in the connection from that Rob and Karen worked at.
Okay,
So,
thanks.
yeah,
Okay,
because there is no walking path right now at the senior center.
right.
And that was the one, for budget reasons, we were asking for the money.
Yeah, right.
We're just waiting for them to cut us the check.
Was it 120,000?
126.
Okay. Good money.
That grant's only been 2 years since we applied for it. So,
Yeah, it's only been 5 months since we finally got it.
yeah, okay. Just takes forever to get.
So it's
grants.
probably a next summer project, I would assume, at this
At
point.
this juncture. Well, maybe it could get done in this fall, it just depends when we get the money, but,
Yeah.
it's high, there's a high likelihood it'll be
Yeah.
2025.
I'll check in with the grant manager, see where we're at.
Okay. Let's move on to new business. Business?
Sorry, I got a birdie that whispered. So we did have a state inspector come out and take a look at the pool. Everything is kosher, except we did have that was the same day that the pump failed. So the problem we had with is apparently we're supposed to get inspected every year or every other year, and it's been 3 years since we've had the state inspector come out. So he's doing 2 inspections, one to certify us for this year, and then coming back towards the end of the year to certify us through 25, 26. So again, just making sure everything is kosher.
Okay, he came out already and he already.
Yeah, everything was fine except, his comment about the pump, it turns out it was electrical, not the pump issue. And so we don't have to go through this longer process to get everything done. So once that is complete, which I have a meeting tomorrow morning, with Blue Ribbon to go, and that's also the reason why we're looking for the as-built plans, so we can make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. Then I would call them out, and since at that point we'll probably just stamp it as approved.
Now, Lou, you done?
I don't know. I'm waiting for a birdie to say if there's anything else.
I do have some new business for you to consider, just an idea, and so no action required, but something to think about. In terms of the parking lot for Milky Way Park, I've kind of floated this idea with staff, and they've kicked it around and thought about it. I wanted to bring it to the board for you guys to consider. So trying to pave that parking lot is a tall order. I mean, it's $500,000 to do that parking lot total. And as you can see from the OSLAD grant, we can't dedicate a good portion of that grant towards it because that defeats the purpose of the OSLAD. So one idea that I have is the issue is a lack of revenue. So perhaps we should think about for when there are events in Milky Way Park, is charging parking for people to come in and park when there's a football game, when there's soccer games, and charging a nominal $1, $2 fee per vehicle when they come in. All that money be dedicated specifically to repaving this parking lot. I think over time that would create quite a sum of revenue that could certainly help defray the cost of doing the parking lot. Once the parking lot is done, then you could stop charging those fees. Now, to do that would require some, either someone to stand out there and collect that fee, or create a kiosk with an arm that you program when you want it to operate and when you want it to be open for the general public. There would be some cost for that infrastructure, but in the long run, it would create the ability to generate this kind of revenue. When you come in, you can, just like when you go into a parking garage, you just pay to use to be able to park. Something to consider. I'm not saying that that's the answer, but I'm saying it is a suggestion of a way to fund that parking lot and get it paid, because it is a problem. It has been and continues to be.
Mayor, where's the money go for Milk Days parking? Who gets
Well, that's a
that?
good question. So Milk Days charges parking, and typically they partner with a not-for-profit to do the parking. Usually it's Brown Bear. Sometimes it's the I think the Chamber did one day. They split that revenue with that not-for-profit company. The city does not get a dime of it. Now the city does get fees for using the parks, except when City Council waives those fees, then we don't get anything. We do get an amusement tax for the amusement that happens there, where that's a 3% tax that goes against amusement out there. So there is some revenue from that perspective. There is no contribution to the parking lot from Milk Days or any other event that happens.
Is that by contract?
No,
Just- that's
it's
just
been
by
the policy
practice?
practice. Things for you to consider.
Yeah.
That's all I have, sir.
Uh-oh.
I'm done with new business.
Just
Had
answering
another
some questions
birdie.
here. Yeah, okay, so Stacy, her salary comes from the revenue fund regardless whether it's pool or park. Daryl is only 25%, or 25% of his, pay comes out of the, mowing for the park. And to answer your question, the amusement tax runs roughly 6.
Thank you, little birdie. I didn't know what that number was in my head, so.
Now, stop birdie.
Any other new business? All right, the next meeting will be 15 July. And, motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Short meeting, 51 minutes.